on, just on the bomb rig. Right, just go, let's go. How about that? Good morning. It's another cloudy morning, middle of February, and we're here at Lindholme Lakes. This is the last Ultimate Bomb and Feeder Championship qualifier of this winter for me. There is one more taking place here next week. However, due to a clash of dates with another competition, I'm unable to fish that one. So this is my last chance to qualify. It's been very, very tough this winter, you know. We know how important the draw can be on these venues through winter. And, you know, by this fishery standards, this fishery has fished very, very hard this winter. You've really needed to draw the right areas. However, even when you've drawn the right areas, the weights have been much, much lower generally than they have in previous winters. So we're not expecting loads of fish. We're just about to draw there in the Anglers Arms. We've just had some breakfast. We think there's going to be about 40 anglers here, something like that, and we're spread over 4 lakes. So I literally could draw anywhere. As the name suggests, it's all bomb and feeder. However, you are allowed to loose feed. So I'm hoping to draw a peg that's got a little bit of form. That could be on any one of the 4 lakes, but I'm going to get inside, just have another cup of coffee, wait for the draw, and hopefully I'm going to draw an area that's going to give me a chance of winning the lake, which is what you need to do in order to qualify.
Brennan's Bob and Feeder Camps qualifier. We've got 4 lakes in, 11 per lake. Win your lake and you're through to the final. We'll pay 2 sections on each lake. If you're in the 6 peg section, unlucky. It's 10:15 till 3:15. Obviously, winner of the match gets a rod. Golden peg to 300 quid. Jeff can do it because he won it last week. 4 laurels.
Good luck, Tony. Oh, it's 33.
Are you going to be lucky?
Yes.
Is this the one?
Only need to be lucky once, that's all I need. Bonsai 28. Interesting. Interesting, did I? Not an area I'm that familiar with, and it's not one that I've really known produce. Alex has just said they caught there yesterday. Bonsai 28. At least I'm parking behind my peg. It's going to be good viewing for Dad. So, first look at the peg. There we go, 28. I'm hoping I'm the last one. I think I will be the last one. I'm assuming there isn't going to be anybody to my right. And there we go, we've got the back edge of the island there. That's where the big old, there used to be a big tree overhanging there. Obviously I've got the point of the island and some open water, and I'm not sure how much room I'm going to have to my left, but I'll find out. I've got the birds whistling, there's the robin. He's hoping I've got some maggots for him, I know. Yeah, it's. I'm just hoping I've got loads of room. We're not expecting it to fish fantastic. However, I've just had a quick word with Alex Doherty and Alan, who's been here on site yesterday, and somebody caught some fish here yesterday. I think it was pleasure fishing. I think, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it was, but there were some fish caught somewhere here yesterday. So that's it. It's going to be a simple approach. I think the rods I've got are already set up. My pellets are already done. But I'll talk you through how I'm going to approach it, because at the minute I'm not 100% sure at the moment, but by the time I've got set up and everything, I've decided how I'm going to approach it. Got the nets out drying, that's good practice. Obviously, whichever fisheries you're off to, make sure you get your nets out, make sure they're dry before they go in. Got loads and loads of room here. You can see how much room some of the anglers have got. I don't know how many's on this lake today, but it might only be 8 or possibly 10 anglers on this lake, so we're really well spread out. You can see the gaps over there. I think that's Martin just through there, Martin Ulliott, who owns Wickersley Angling. He's just around that corner, and then there isn't anybody to my left, so there's loads and loads of room. No wind on it, you know, it does feel a little bit milder than it has been. 3 rods set up. I'll just quickly show you these. They're all exactly the same, to be fair, but let me just show you, just to save lots and lots of questions in the comments that I don't always get a chance to see. XRC, so we're fishing the Ethos XRC 9 foot bomb. We've got a 9-foot feeder and a 9-foot feeder, so they're all XRCs. I've got 2 HX Pro reels there with 8-pound horizon on, and that one is an XR reel again with 8-pound horizon on. Simple as that. I've got This first one here set up with a 10-gram pellet bomb, simple as that. I've got a hook length on there, and that has got a nice band on there for fishing with a banded pellet if I want to do that. This one is an open method feeder, just a 15 grammer, obviously only a small feeder, scale everything down this time of year. That's got a 4-inch hook length on there, free running, just to comply with fishery rules. I can obviously change that with this quick change system. You can change the size of the feeder and all that sort of thing. And then on this final one here, I've got another 10-gram pellet bomb there, as you can see, but this one's actually got a speed stop on it, and that is so that I can use that with corn and with bread as well, which is what I have actually got with me. And as regards the rods, that is it. They'll cover me for everything, only 9-footers, as you can see. There's no long casts or anything like that, so it's all short range fishing. And the side tray is super simple, as you can imagine. Just got a tub of water there. I've got my cover here, obviously if I don't know if there is rain forecast, but tub of water, that is where my softened micro pellets are going to go. They're just over in a bait bowl at the minute. Got some 6mm pellets, fishery pellets, and some F1 corn. I've got some micro wafters there, and the Sonobaits ones, but there is a mixture in there, different ones, but they're all micro ones in there. A couple of my hook boxes, and that is my fish counter that will go on that front leg when I get fishing. And that is just a tub that I have where I will have my baiting needle, a banding tool, and any small slices of bread or pieces of bread in there. It's just that's just a nice little tub for working, you know, keeping any spare hook lengths in, and any bits of tools or anything like that. So that is it, really simple. I'm going to talk you through the approach when I get on the box. I'm just going to set this other camera up for you. Hopefully the wind will stay like this for filming purposes, but we've got loads of room, you know, hell of a lot of room, and that can be a problem in itself, you know, trying to decide where to fish. I think I've just about decided how I'm going to do it. So there's only a few minutes to the off, so I'm going to get on the box and talk you through how I'm going to tackle it. I think I've just about decided what I'm going to do. I'll be absolutely honest. I'm not 100% certain, or I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be the right thing to do what I'm going to do, because it's fished so difficult this year. You know, previous 2 winters I would have made my mind up virtually straight away, but the way it's fishing, it's just fishing so difficult. You know, you don't know if you're going to need £20 or, you know, £50, you know, or more. You don't know. I think £15 was second on this lake yesterday. Nikki French fished on here, one of our channel members, Tony Chandler's daughter. She fished over, she was in the 70s. Sorry, not yesterday, on Tuesday. She had £15 odds, did really well, and she was second on the lake with £15. So you've got to err on the side of caution. We've got so much room, it's unbelievable, you know. So I think I'm just going to start feeding in 2 areas to start with, and just basically feel my way into it, just see what's going to happen. There's lots of water to my left, as you can see, you know, loads of room, and if fish are going to come that way, they could come that way, or they could come through there, who knows, but they might be here already. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to loose feed pellets. I've got these pellets here, and the odd grain of corn as well. And just to my right, about just over halfway, just going to loose feed them there. Just, you know, I've got a second, I know not everybody uses a second feeder arm, but I am doing today because I've got one in the van. So I've got one there, just so I've got a nice angle for fishing anywhere to my right. So if I am going to fish there, I've got a nice angle in the tip, and if I go down this margin, I've got a nice angle in the tip, and it means I can leave that feeder on there where it is for fishing out there and into that gap if I wish. I'll probably push that round a little bit more, to be fair, just so that there's a nice angle on it. So when you're fishing with lighter hook lengths, if you're going to be getting these bites that you get, you know, with these self-hooking ways of fishing, you want the rod to be absorbing the bite, you know. You don't want to be pointing your rod to it, certainly not with lighter hook lengths. So I'm going to loose feed there, and I'm also going to loose feed to my left as well, possibly in line with that island and the beech tree, somewhere there. I'm just going to see how far these go nice and accurately. Obviously I can't go over halfway, there is an angler opposite, so I don't want to go past that. But the other area that I'm a bit dubious about is in between the islands. That can be the place to catch fish, you know, at this time of year. You know, I was here a few days ago, and I saw most of the fish I saw were caught not on this peg, over on the other side. They were caught right in the middle between the islands, and I'm not really sure whether to feed there or not. You know, I can loose feed to that area, but I just feel a little bit more confident at the moment leaving it empty or not feeding there. because if it is going to be mega hard, I want to leave some areas like the point of this island and back and that bit there where I haven't fed anything, just in case that's where I'm going to catch, if that makes sense. And the other thing I really need to do, one thing that I always like to do, is feed somewhere. So I've got a method feeder set up, so when I do go in with a method feeder, if I have got to try a method feeder, I'll try and do it in virtually the same spot, so if I don't catch there, I've left a few micro pellets there for later on. You know, it's just trying to get the best of both worlds. So I've got areas where I'm loose feeding. I'm going to have an area, if I have to pick the method feeder up, where there's going to be a few micros, but I've got lots of options as regards just casting a bomb round with a pellet on or a grain of corn. I've got all this water here to explore where I'm not going to be feeding, and I've got all this to my right here where I'm not going to be feeding, and I've got towards the point of this island and the open water. I don't know if I've really overcomplicated it trying to explain that, but it's not complicated. I'm just trying to tell you my thinking about my options. That's all it is. I can't see any anglers on this bank anyway, but there's anglers over there, and I'll get an idea of how it's fishing. So I'm going to start off on bomb and corn, I think. Feed those two pellet lines, but with some corn as well, really lightly, and start with the bomb and corn and just see if I can pick up, you know, a couple of early fish. And you know, by half an hour in, I should be getting some sort of an idea of how it's fishing. But yeah, when you fish matches like this, you know, when the fishery owners and the organisers really want you to have the best days fishing possible, even when it's fishing hard, and they space you out like this, you know, it can be very much like a day's pleasure fishing. You know, it's really nice, and if the weather stays like this, it should be a nice day. And I've got a flask that's almost full of coffee. And in case you're wondering, because I keep getting asked, I'm not on the OXO this winter. I haven't had the OXO or the Bovril or whatever I've had previous winters. I'm actually on caramel latte. There we go. Very nice and sweet, and it certainly helps keep your body temperature up on these cold winter days. So all I've got is just a few seconds to the off, I think, with the pellet one, 10 gram. Now I've got bread, but I'm not going to start on bread, just for confidence wise. You know, I'm just on a grain of corn. I've got some bread to switch to. It's just confidence for me at the minute. I haven't caught many fish on bread this winter, certainly not on this lake anyway. But so I've just got, as you can see, a nice single grain of corn. I'll just kick off just towards the front, just off the front point of that island. Got my drag undone, and then while that's there, I can start feeding those pellets on those two lines, and then just keep my eye out for trying to get an idea for how it's fishing. The coffee's good. It's about 5 degrees temperature wise, which is a bit warmer than it has been. I certainly haven't got a really cold wind blowing here today, which is nice for a change. The last couple of days, I've been out the last 2 days filming live matches on completely different venues, and it's been freezing. That's it. Good luck, lads. Just going to start there, just off in that slightly deeper water. I'm not going to go where it's really shallow. I've obviously got all those options to go to afterwards. Just set that stopwatch, just so I've got an idea of how long it's been out there. And I'm just going to start firing a few pellets. Pick my marker. Makes a change to not be fighting the wind. I think it's the first time this winter. Not someone feeding that side. This time of year, you know, even if there are fish around you, around your rig and stuff, you should be getting line bites or signs anyway. Usually fish are giving themselves away that way. It can be a good way of looking for fish, but that's it. Got to really be careful with that feeding today. I'm going to start flicking the odd grain of corn on those as well, but not just yet. Oh, has that gull found a floating pellet? It's landed right where I'm feeding. So that's it. I'm looking up the arm. I can see, well, there's only 2 anglers on the arm at that side. That's how well spaced out we are. I can see a couple over on the other arm in the 70s, but hopefully I'm not going to be sitting watching them. I can't really see Martin. He's just through the trees on that island, but I'll probably hear him if he's catching. Just coming up to the end of the first hour, I'm not sure who that is, but that's his third fish now. I've only heard of 2 other fish caught, but well, I've definitely seen him catch 3. He may have had more. I haven't been watching him all the time. Right down at that bottom end. So he's definitely caught the most at this stage. We are right at the end of the first hour. Now I haven't had a single indication. I haven't had a liner or anything. I've been out in that area there towards the point of that island. I've had a few casts there with the bomb. No indications. I've gone down in between the islands into that deeper water in between, in the open water. I haven't had anything. I've just had one drop there with a method feeder, with a little method feeder with micros round it. Didn't get any signs. These geese are going mad today. Look at them. I've had a look on this right hand line that I've fed. I haven't had any indications. So at the minute I've just dropped the bomb towards the point of this left hand island, which is actually past where I'm loose feeding. But I have actually heard of some fish caught. I've heard Martin over there. I've heard he's caught a fish. I think he's lost one as well. Opposite here on this point here, he's had one small fish look like an F1. And right down at the bottom end of the arm, there's an angler down there. And he's definitely caught 3. He may have got more. I haven't been watching him all the time. I have looked up 3 times, and 3 times he's been netting a fish. So there are 3 anglers actually on that arm there, not 1. And sorry, not 2. I thought there were only 2, but there's 3. So it's the one right at the bottom end, nearest to the cafe, to the angler's arms. He's definitely got 3, and that's it. So I'm way behind already. It would just be nice to get a couple of indications, but just got to keep going. I don't really want to start feeding any different places from where I fed, otherwise I'll end up with bait everywhere. So I've just got to just keep dotting that bomb around, trying to look for a fish, keep going on the line, the 2 spots that I'm fed, and hope I'm going to get a visit. This middle bit here, I'll put some, well, 1 feeder full of micros there, so I can obviously keep dropping on that with a bomb, or I can go over it with the little method feeder, or the open method feeder. Just hope I'm going to get some sort of a visit. I haven't seen any signs, you know. You're not seeing any fish moving anyway when it's as cold as this. So I'm not getting any indications, which is a little bit worrying, to be honest, at this stage. I mean, there's an hour gone already, so I definitely need things to pick up. Right opposite on the point, it's just netting another small fish. It's like a small F1. That's his second now. He's just dotting around with a bomb at the minute. Just looking for single fish, but that's his second. Well, I've finally had an indication. So he's only been out there a minute. I've been dotting that bomb all over the place. I can't believe I'm not even getting liners from anything. It's only been there about a minute, just to that point of the island. There we go. Goodness for that. Oh, an F1. Just on a single grain of corn. I was just in that shallower water, just past really where I've been fishing in front of me. Get him in the net. We're off the mark anyway. So yeah, what I've done is I've just started basically straight in front of me, in line with that island, where I dropped the method feeder, and I left a few pellets. It's basically in line with that, but this time I just went past that. You know, it was really as far as I could go. I can't really go any further than that, so I'll be encroaching on halfway. So like I said, it was only there a minute. It was a fast bite, which was good. That's what you'd expect. I'm going to go back to that spot. I'm not clipped up or anything. It's a tiny bit further than that, to be honest. I'm just going to leave that. I'm sure it's the same sort of depth. But I literally just haven't had any liners or anything. There was no warning. Start the blue, the tip just went. Not a big fish as you've seen, but there's lots of fish that size in here. They're the size of fish that the lad opposite's caught. He's got 2 fish. And the lad down at that bottom end, near the angler's arms, I haven't seen him catch any more fish since what I think was his 3rd. I'm not watching him all the time, but I haven't seen him catch any since then. and I'm not sure if the angler in the middle, I think it's Cookie actually, the middle angler on that arm. I think it's Steve Cook. I don't think he's caught, but I haven't heard that Martin's caught anymore. I mean, it's 11:40 now, so just approaching that hour and a half, 90-minute stage, but I've got a fish in the net, thank goodness. I was just beginning to think that I just don't know where any fish are going to come from. All I can do is hope that the lines that I'm feeding are, you know, going to give me a run of fish at some stage. But if it's as hard as this everywhere, you're not going to need a mega weight anyway if it stays like this. So that's where you've got to be careful sometimes. You know, you've got to be careful not to try and chase a weight that might not even be available. If it's only going to take £20 to win the lake, then it doesn't take long, does it? If you get a run of fish, depending on the size of the fish, it doesn't take long to get that weight. So we're off the mark. That's much better. Just coming up to 12 o'clock and I haven't had any more indications. I was hoping to catch another fish on that spot straight in front of me where I caught my first fish, but I haven't had any other indications. Just dotting around with a bomb, as you can imagine. I'm just keeping that loose feed going in, that's all I can do, but I'm just being very, very cautious about feeding too much. I don't even know if you're going to catch overfeed today, I don't know. At the minute I'm just in the middle of the back of this island. Again, I haven't had any indications there. That is actually over the back of where I'm feeding, into that slightly shallow water. Picked up a bit of rubbish there, and so I'm just searching around. At the moment I've just got corn on, just because that's what I'm super confident in. I just think it's nice and visual as well. And I'm just going to cast down to that right on point. Not right up to it, but just to that back edge. I'm not sure if it is snaggy close to that island, but I'll just try it there for a few minutes, see if I get any signs. I can go nearer to the island if I wish. That's the thing with the bomb, at least I'm not, you know, you're not spreading bait everywhere. You know, if I was doing it with a method feeder, there'd be piles of micro pellets everywhere, but it's just a good way of searching out the swim. But like I say, I'm just not getting any indications. You know, even if there were fish there that didn't really want to feed, or if I was casting too far or past them, or my line was going through fish, you'd be getting signs. But there's nothing at all, which is not suggesting there's loads of fish there, but plenty of time for that to change. The lad opposite now, he's literally just had 3 in 3 casts. Unbelievable, catching to the island on my right. They're not big fish, they're only little F1s. That's 3 in 3 casts, so he's now got 5 small F1s now. So it'll be interesting to see whether that continues. I'm not getting any signs whatsoever, no liners or anything. I am currently out there towards that same island at the minute, but yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if that continues for him. Well, I'm not getting any indications whatsoever. I've literally just cast this in again, just like I've done for the 20th time. And it's been there about 20 seconds and I've hooked another fish. Mara on the other bank, he's got 5 now. We've been fishing 2 hours now, it's 12:15. Oh, is this a bream? It's just, I don't know, I just don't know where a run of fish is going to come from. That's why I've just got to keep the bait going in and hope I'm going to get a run from somewhere. Oh, that's as big as those F1s, isn't it? Those little F1s. But I don't know, it's just a case of I think the phrase is keep the faith. I think that's what it is anyway. So it's very difficult, you know. It's when you're not catching really overfeed, it's difficult. It can be hard to wonder where a run of fish is going to come from, you know, when you go behind. But just going to have to be patient. There's so many other things I could have done. I could have fished with maggots today, which I know a few people will mention, I'm sure. But if you're going to fish with maggots, how do you fish with them? Do you fish with them with a maggot feeder? Do you use a cage feeder with ground bait? Do you loose feed them and chuck a bomb over the top? You can end up overcomplicating things. And today's all about winning the lake. And if it is going to be a low weight, 15-20 pound, then yeah, there's a chance that you could get that with maggots. But if it's going to be one of those days where you're going to need 30, 40 or even more, then, you know, in my experience and from what I've heard and seen this winter, you're not going to get that weight on maggots from what I've seen and heard. So, you know, you've got to make your decisions. And, you know, what you've got to remember is that in this competition, for example, you are up against the venue experts. You know, they're brilliant anglers anyway, a lot of them. But they're here a couple of times a week, you know, they know the venue. So these are the anglers that are going to be able to get those better weights if they are available. And from speaking to every one of those anglers over the last few weeks, I spoke to 2 or 3 this morning, none of them have even got maggots with them because they're confident that a pellet, a corn approach and bread is the way to go. So maggots might get me a few extra bites, but I'm not convinced that having them part of the approach today would get me enough fish to win the lake. But you know, you make your decisions, don't you? We'll find out as the day pans out. Just got to keep them 2 spots primed and hope I'm going to get some sort of a run. But we've been fishing 2 hours, so there's plenty of time yet. We are 3 hours in. I'm amazed how hard it is. You know, I didn't expect it to be easy by any means, but when you consider how much room we've got here, I'm just not getting any signs. I'm not getting any liners or anything. Still only got 2 fish. That little F1 and that skimmer. Lad opposite's doing well. Yeah, I think he's got 8 now. Admittedly, they're not really big fish, but he must be doing all right with that. You know, the little F1s. Next one's down is Cookie, going down the arm. He seems to think that Mara opposite is there or thereabouts on this lake. It sounds like it's fishing hard. Look at that there, looks like a liner there. It's I'm just not getting in. That's the first indication I've had for, I don't know, well, since the fish, I think, since that last fish. Just currently on a bomb straight out in front of me, just off the front edge of that island at the minute. Not getting any indications or anything over my right hand fed swim, and nothing over to the left. Just no signs of encouragement. Just feels like there's no fish here, but I mean there must be. There's got to be some fish somewhere. But I'm just not getting any signs. He's really just caught in runs, you know. I mean, he had three and three casts in one spot straight away, then he's had another one. It's just this minute lost one actually. It's done him in a snag. I've had a couple of casts down. You can see that island there, just down the back edge of that island. I've had a couple of casts down there with the little open method feeder. Didn't get any signs on that, any indications or anything. I've gone all along that island there with the bomb and corn. I've currently got pellet on at the minute, a 6mm banded pellet. Gone all the way around that island, off that right hand edge as well. Just there aren't any indications or anything. I'm obviously hoping I'm going to find some fish somewhere. The biggest thing is, I mean, I think he's got 8 fish, and if he is winning the lake, you know, it's not a mega amount of fish. And the other saving grace at the minute is that they're not big fish. So, you know, if I could find perhaps a couple of carp or something like that, then I don't need big numbers. It's the weight that I need, because it does look like it's going to be a low weight affair. But I'm just concerned I'm not getting any liners. There's just no signs of any bites or anything. You know, as though there are fish milling about, even if they weren't feeding, or if I was in a different depth or whatever. So I think I've just got to stick to what I'm doing. You know, nurture these 2 lines that I'm feeding. Hopefully, you know, dropping on there with either a hard banded pellet or corn is going to get me a run of fish, and then just keep exploring off the front edge of that island. Ironically, since these geese have been there, I haven't seen him catch any to that point, or just off his side of the point. Whether that's coincidence or not, I don't know. His fish have come from this left hand point over here, and he's got one over to his left, which is round that corner. But yeah, it's definitely looking like it's going to be a low weight affair. So I've just got to keep going. You know, it's too late to start setting new lines up. I've considered going down this margin but I've just flicked a few grains of corn down there, down to my right, where I can drop a bomb down there, just to see, you know, if I can pick a fish up. But this road is quite noisy today, you can probably tell. I don't know if that'll make any difference to these margins. I don't know if you catch much down this inside on this bank. I don't know, but I'll put a few grains of corn down there, so I can just going down to the right, so I can just drop a bomb down there with a grain of corn on. Might just pick a quick fish up. We're just coming into the final 45 minutes. I just haven't had a single indication since the last check-in with you. No liners, nothing, no silverfish. I even tried, because I got some maggots in my bag from yesterday. I even tried a hook length with a couple of maggots on, just on the bomb rig. That's just gone, it's gone. How about that? Well, I was just putting another hook length on as I was talking to you, because I'm obviously not going to get the numbers of fish that I need by the looks of it. So I was just changing the hook length for a slightly longer hook length, so I could put a bigger bait on. Mara on the other bank is just netting his 11th. Just heard him shout down to cook it out. It's 11 he's had now, but they're not really big fish. That's a better stump fish. A few of them would be nice. So I was literally just putting another hook length on, because I thought the only way that I'm going to catch up on weight, because it doesn't feel like I'm going to suddenly get a run of fish. I might be proven wrong. Come on, mate. I might be proven wrong. So I was literally just about to put a larger or a longer hook length, sorry, longer hairig on, so I could fish with potentially double corn to try and pick out a carp or a bigger fish. And I'm just going to have another cast on this. I mean, that had been out there probably 3.5 minutes. Obviously we're just going to have another cast. But I've got to give it the benefit of the doubt now, haven't I? Just to see if I can get another one. I mean, that wasn't a bad stump fish as well, that, to be fair. But I've still only got 3 fish. So get back out there. Just there, off the front of that island. I've got 45 minutes left. I've just got to at least try and just have another cast on that single grain of corn, just to see if 1 or 2 might have turned up. I don't know, but that's where I've been loose feeding some corn, not a lot. It's the only place I've caught. That's where all my fish have come from, that one spot. I haven't caught anything else. I had signs over my feed. As I was saying when I got that bite, I even tried a hook length with maggots on, because I got some maggots in my bag from yesterday. I just put two red maggots on and a longer hook length on the bomb rig, just to see if I could pick up an F1 or something on the drop. And I had 3 casts on it, and I had one bite, and it was the smallest roach in the lake. So I obviously took that off and went back to doing what I was doing. But that's incredible. I mean, you know, just that one bite then out of the blue. I find it hard to believe that there haven't been more fish here today in front of me. I mean, look at how much room there is, and even if they hadn't been here all day, even if it was just they've moved through the peg, or they're in that open water. So I do believe that there's been some more fish there than what I've caught, but I just don't know why I haven't been getting any sort of signs, any indications, any liners, which I think is really strange. But it's just hit now, 2:30, so we've got 45 minutes left exactly now. I need a run of fish, or I need some bigger fish. He's got 11 now. I've got 3 fish, 2 F1s and that skimmer. I've just switched the camera off after that last check-in and that F1. Didn't get any signs, and I've reeled back. And halfway back, I foul up to silverfish. A skimmer. How about that? That was about halfway back. Unreal. extra few ounces anyway. I am going to change that hook length. Remember, mind up. There's just not enough time, even if I did get a little run of fish. I'm sure it's not going to be enough to catch the number of fish that I need. So I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to try switch to double corn. This has got a longer hair rig on it. I'm just going to put double corn on, where I might just be able to pick out a couple of bonus fish if there are any there. I haven't seen any big fish. The lad down at the bottom end, I was trying to find the lad down at the bottom end who caught earlier down near the Angler's Arms. He looked like his stamper fish looked a little bit bigger, but I'm not sure. And I'm not sure how much he's caught since that first period. There we go, double corn. Let's see if we can find a carp or a big F1. There we go. Now's the time. Let's drop back. Is that on? Let's have it. Yes. Well, it's on the double corn. I wouldn't say it's a massive fish. There's not long left now, but I've definitely had a bite on that anyway. I haven't had any, I'm not getting any liners or anything like that. This is from that same spot again. Not the lump that I required, but we have picked up another fish, which is add to the total. It's so annoying when they come in because the bite comes so quick, you land the fish so quick. You could easily put together a run of fish because you can catch them so quickly, but you just get so many quiet spells in between. That's the drop back. Oh no, that'll drop back then. That's right on, that's it, Mr. Allen. Oh, drop back right on the whistle. That sums up my day, doesn't it? What can we say? Oh well. Well, at least we got a nice smiley face to weigh us in anyway. I'm sure you all know that chap. Well, £6, whatever it was, I'm not sure. Very disappointing, but as you've seen, I've had most of those fish in the last 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Is that a time of day thing? I've no idea. I find it very, very hard to believe that I haven't left quite a few fish in the peg. I'm sure they have. There's so much room here. We've been here for 5 hours, and I'm sure that there would have been a way of catching a few more fish. I don't think there were loads of fish here, but when we see the results in a minute, I think we may find that we didn't need a lot of fish. I've got a feeling, you know, you're probably only going to need around £20, 20, £25 maybe to qualify. We are going to find that out. I'll put the full results up for you. Sounds like one or two of the other lakes have fished hard. What I'm going to do is there have been other lakes in today as well as this one, so I'll put all the results up for you just so you can see how what the winning weight was on each lake, and I'll obviously let you know what's won this lake, so it'll be interesting to see if it has been won over there, because I've been obviously telling you how he was fishing. But what would I do differently? I don't know. I think I can't really say I've fed too much, because I don't know if I have. Bit of a mystery this one today, I'll be absolutely honest, you know, and I've only really got 2 more winter matches here this winter, which are the last 2 rounds of the winter league, the individual league. But I hope you've enjoyed this insight. I'll put the full results up for you. If you have enjoyed this, not the most exciting live match I've ever produced, but if you have enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, just to let me know that you do want to see more matches like this, even when the fishing is very, very difficult. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I've got live matches rolling out right the way through this year, and if you haven't looked at them already, there are already over 100 live matches already on this channel, so you might want to check out that playlist. So thanks for watching. It's going to be an interesting result. I'm going to get my gear packed away, and yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what kind of weights are going to be needed to qualify today. So thanks for watching, really appreciate it, and I really look forward to seeing you next time.